Hi everyone,
Check.
my name is Cloud Strife, ex-soldier, first class. I was asked by the Warrior of Hype to host this TheoryCast about my world and my life. I'm very curious of what everyone thinks about me, because me and my best friend have already saved the universe. So I'm not sure what else needs to be addressed, but I am accompanied with my party today. Usually I only have a party of 3, but today I have a party of 4. Let's start with all the way to the left of your screen. This is Genesis 7. How are you doing, Genesis?
I'm doing fantastic, thank you. How is everyone? All right?
Doing great. Doing great.
I'm glad to be part. I'm glad to be the 4th party member.
Thanks.
Glad you squeezed me in.
And we have Schrodinger's baby seal.
Hi guys. How's everybody doing? Great to finally meet the Cloud Strife.
Thank you.
I've been told I'm not a very good fan of yours, but trust me, I'm the best.
You're a poser. Prof Noctis, what's up, man? How are you doing?
Hey, what's up? What's up? It's an honor to be here with the man, the mythos, the legend, Cloud Strife. So.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. This is super cool. We got a lot to talk about today. This is a theory cast, so lots of theories going around there. I understand that there's many people out there that actually submitted their own theories based upon the world that I live in my life. And like I said at the top of the show, I'm just really surprised because I already saved the whole universe with my best friend. So I don't...
Who's your best friend?
Oh, my best friend is Sephiroth.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Me and Sephiroth, we saved the whole universe together.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the lesser dog breed timelines. Gotcha.
Got it.
What's that mean?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine.
Okay, cool.
I promise. There's no chance of betrayal.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Me and Sephiroth, we hit it off. I can't really remember exactly how it all went down, really. But it was in it's just he reached his hand out to me and he said, together, we can do this together. And from that moment on, we were really we saved the whole world. So good
Really
stuff.
affirming. It's always good to get that kind of feedback from your partners. When you're doing work together, you like the constant praise and togetherness. Just bros being guys.
Yeah. Well, awesome, guys. Well, let's get into it. We got a lot of going on here, and you know what I mean. Like, the following is really exciting news.
Oh God.
Be excited, Cloud.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, how could you not?
Don't
With that sultry tones.
resist. Let the hype consume you.
Mhm.
Be its warrior. So, the Game Informer's cover story was freaking insane, dude. The cover of that Game Informer magazine, who else was freaking losing their mind, man? You know what I'm talking about? Alright, so we have this coming from @Okami13 on Twitter, as he kind of shares this interview with Naoki Hamaguchi, the director of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, saying this: he is the most confident he has ever been in a game. Quote, he thinks people are going to lose their minds. There's a moment in this that when they saw it, everyone was kind of in awe. Oh my god. Who's freaking hype?
That was an amazing post. That was an amazing thing for him to say. Blew my mind. Like I mean, I was already hyped, and then he just sprinkled on top of it. I was like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, man. It was so there's a lot of coming out of the Game Informer stuff. So Genesis 7, what did you think about all that the Game Informer stuff? What had you most hype about it?
Well, the confidence, obviously, it's infectious, isn't it? Seeing that kind of quote, you're going to be down with it. I mean, we've all been on the road, and just to hear that towards the end of it, you're going to just take it all in. But the article in general, I think just all those little bits throughout the interview, just about gameplay, about combat, about just little snippets of the story, and then obviously the slew of screenshots that we got as well.
Yeah,
I'm down.
All right, and then we had also some information drop in. I think this is kind of old, but they reiterated that we got about 40 hours for the main story and 100 hours for completionists. The game is chock full with mini games and stuff like that. How about you, Baby Seal? What do you got? You got anything coming out of the Game Informer stuff that really just like got you super hype? I'm kind of having like a hype cast before the theory cast, you know what I mean? Because there's just it was just so I need to vent it out, Baby Seal.
I hear you. So I mean, I think more than the little bits of like scale information we got, like hearing that there's a whole like second town in lower, like sister town to Lower Junon, the Crow's Nest, which is probably like at the base of Fort Condor. But the idea that there's all these full-blown like social ecosystems that you get to be involved in just kind of like let me know the scale of the game, which was really hype for me personally. But it was also like just listening to the experience of these people sitting and talking to like Hamaguchi and Nomura for hours. Like they were really, you could tell that the Game Informer staff were really excited by the excitement of all of the developers. Like they were generous with their time, and Nomura, who's like normally pretty reclusive and is very often shying away from the public eye, apparently spent the most time and even wanted to stay after and talk to the folks at Game Informer, which is it's just really it's exciting as somebody that's been really attached to this as a form of art for 25 years, is to see the artists that made it get this kind of passionate about it was the highlight for me of all that stuff. That and the new cruise ship and any pictures we see of Cloud on the Segway, the more the merrier.
That's awesome. The cruise ship is definitely a change up from the cargo ship, so I'm interested in seeing how that all goes
I'm
down.
interested in that. I'm sad that it might mean that we don't get to see the bear wearing the marshmallow suit.
That it kind of had me there for a second, because when you saw the what was it, the I think it was the trailer, the song trailer, it shows Cloud walking around, and I'm like, he's just kind of out there in the open right now, like he's got no disguise on. And I kind of had to come up with I was like, okay, well maybe the stowaway is spotted, which is that it's not them, it's actually Genova or Sephiroth, suspicious stowaway. And then once that happens, like that announcement, maybe they think it's them and they have to come up with disguises, or maybe but so something like that might happen. I think I remember I couldn't find the interview quote, but I feel like I remember reading a quote where they were like, oh yeah, you have to have your iconic moments, such as the dressing up as sailors and stuff like that. I feel like they specifically mentioned that quote, but I couldn't find it, so I don't know. Maybe it was just in my head. But
who's to say? Yeah.
Right? And
it does sound familiar now that you're saying it.
Right. Yeah, it's like I swear they specifically kind of mentioned it. So Noctis, I want to talk to you in a second, but Baby Seal brought up Nomura. And the fact that Nomura had like stayed behind, which is something I didn't know, that's really awesome. Like for him to that means somebody who's usually out of it, like somebody who's usually introverted from all of it and just kind of like I don't want to say too much anything. Being like he's excited, right? Like I feel like he's got something he can't wait to show. But there was a quote from Nomura that I'd like to read. And this is coming from at Tiffany May Cry. So Nomura says, quote, beginning with the original Final Fantasy VII, when we had started working on it, it was already decided from the get-go that life would be the central theme surrounding Final Fantasy VII. I knew that we had to depict life and death within this title. Prior to Final Fantasy VII, there have been other titles where characters have experienced tragedy, but many of them may have come back or been revived in some way. But I believe that loss is something that happens unexpectedly, and it's not something so dramatic or drawn out, but is something in which a person that you have just conversed with is suddenly gone and never to come back. I believe that the person who dies should not return in this title, and that is what we did with the original. End quote. What the? that quote, man. That quote. So Noctis, what did you think of that quote?
That's in that entire interview. Nomura was being as more based than he's ever been in an interview. I think, at least the ones that I've seen. Like, this is your classic sort of thing, and that quote, to me, it just got my mind racing. Now I don't want to like spoil, all of our positions or anything like that, but I'm a big like the dead are alive sort of guy. Like the dead are still dead, but they are seemingly alive, and that's the way that I kind of look at it. And I think that one of the things that he's really doing there that's so cool to me is this story is venturing into what happens after death, what happens in this cycle of death, and that's where it got me hyped. Now, I mean, that could be wrong, but I think that they are interested in showing sides of this story of life and death that they were not, they just didn't have this capacity to show in 1997. So that's what excites me most about this. Also, hang on, there was that one part at the end where it said the one that dies in this game should stay dead for this title. Now, did that leave the door cracked open for the next title? Like, that was one thing that I kind of thought. I don't know.
That's us really like zeroing in on it, like like to really zero in on the wording, which is also obviously translated, I'm sure. So it's like to zero in on that, but it said the person who dies, which means there's somebody who's gonna die in this game. Like he straight up says the person who dies, and I'm like, wait, so you're confirming that? But I don't know. I try not to, like I said in the pre-show, don't try not to read into these developer interviews too much, guys. Let's, like, that's where I've gotten with it, where I'm just kind of like, I love interviews, but man, I just really love it when like Hamaguchi says something like what we just talked about, where he was like, people lost their freaking minds. People are the hype stuff gets me. This kind of stuff, I'm like, all right, we can't nitpick too much here on the wording, but I do want to shout out what Night Sky Prince, and then I'm going to move it on because I love what Night Sky said. He said, Maine, he says this, but a whole ass Zack re-alived in the first game. But all right, so we can move on to it. What do we got? What do we got next, guys? I think we're good with like the. Is there anything else we want to talk about hype wise? Is there any hype that you guys need to vent before we get into some fan submitted theories? Like I posted a survey earlier on in this week, and the response has been incredible. Like I think we had like 83 responses or something, somewhere along those lines, and we have 83 viewers. So I think everybody who responded is watching right now. But
that is a very specific number,
right?
Before we go on, I did want to actually comment on the quote. I did want to also just address that Professor Noctis is wrong. And then, but
quiet poser.
I know
We've done this a few times.
one thing about the article is, I mean, this is not a reflection of what I actually think will happen in the game. So let me be real clear about that. Mm-hmm. I do think that a majority of the article's paraphrasing of quotes struck me as machine translated. There's a few markers that some of us who've just watched it have kind of noticed. There's a few key phrases that, and I'm not going to say who's noticed it because I don't want to throw them under the bus, but I think there's a very solid chance that we're not getting maybe the most charitable explanation. It's one of the things that's always good about having the actual Japanese to look at, you know, when you're reading developer quotes and stuff like that. But also, I mean, it really is. It's just, it's not good business to spoil the end of a mystery box title, even if the idea is to keep people with a very specific headcanon invested. Like, we don't want to lose the, you know, Aerith dead people, because the people that really need to see her die at the end of this game, we want to make sure that they're not going to leave, because since they're so bloodthirsty as it is, we probably don't want to upset them. You know, there is that element to it, you know. But also, I think that there was a few other elements in the Game Informer article that was like, it just felt like, hey, maybe this didn't get, like, even the English portions weren't properly editorialized. There was like there's several instances where they said remake where they should have said OG. So just, I think, always keep that in mind, that a lot of times these journalists have a deadline. It's right before the holiday. They're making, the Game Informer is going to have like weeks worth of content based on this. They're releasing a video based on their stuff at the beginning of the year. You know, so there's a bunch of stuff to just be real reticent of, you know, when drawing conclusions from dev quotes. That being said, I think Aerith's probably not going to make it, but, you know, that's, I like to put that disclaimer on stuff just to sort of further your point, like, hey, don't read too much into them. They're just doing what they're supposed to do, and we don't have the full context of everything they're saying. You know, exactly.
Nice, well said, man. I'm glad you said that, because I fully believe in all of that. So awesome. All right, you guys. So, do you guys want to jump into some fan submitted theories?
Yes.
Oh,
Let's do
man.
it.
Good. All right, there we go. All right. Yeah. So, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I haven't really had the time to prepare this.
Even better.
Yeah.
Way better. Yeah.
I went through about 20 of them, and then, oh my God, did you guys really come through here and submit a bunch of theories. And as much as I would love to read every single one of them on this show right now, I don't want to go through that much time. So I'm going to kind of pick and choose here. Let's start with, well, we kind of talked about Aerith's fate. And I mean, that was like literally kind of a yes or no question. So it was very interesting how that was split. That was very split in the results there. We have a lot of people saying that she dies, wakes up in a different in Zach's timeline. Like, that was almost the majority consensus was she dies, wakes up in Zach's timeline. That was, or in Zach's world. A lot of people are adamant that she will. A lot of people are, you know, very confident that she won't. So it was very split. That question kind of didn't lead to very many like responses to read, but I would start with, what is Sephiroth's endgame?
I hope Jeff Keighley is watching this, because you could be up for performance next year.
Yeah.
Man, that was to become one with Cloud.
I mean, seems like it.
Just read the theories, Cloud. Okay. To become one with Cloud, reborn as a god, acting as a Jesus figure who will absorb the Jenova corruption and take away the sins of the world, and will create a new planet free of Jenova, where he will always exist as a living legacy to Final Fantasy VII's history. This one is, this one's anonymous. This one's an anonymous submission. So, oh god, I messed up! No! I have a cool thing. I'm gonna send it to you guys real quick, and we're gonna get this thing going. But what I would like to start with is we're gonna do a little game with these, where it's gonna be, you vote very unlikely, unlikely, likely, or very likely. All right? And I'm gonna send you something where you can actually vote in real time as I read these. So, just stay tuned for that. But go ahead, I'm gonna kick it off to Genesis 7. What do you think of that theory that I just read?
I mean, if I'm gonna say how likely it is straight off the bat, I'm in the unlikely category for that one.
Okay.
Personally, I can see it. I can see it, but I can't see it happening. If that makes sense, in a nutshell.
Yeah. Okay. All right. How about you, Seal?
I mean, I think that it's likely his end game is Cloud. Cloud is obviously his end game.
Okay.
Him succeeding seems unlikely. So I'll say that. So it's kind of. I would say that. I'll say that the answer to how likely that is his end game, which I think is technically the question, we'll say likely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Likely. All right, Professor Noctis.
I'd say likely. I think that's the end game.
Okay. All right. So I've sent in the Discord a link for you to follow, and you can actually follow along here. Underneath of the board is a drop-down menu, and you can find that drop-down menu. You'll find your answers. All you got to do is literally just select. You just got to select what you think, and that's it. Bear with me, chat. We're gonna get this thing set up. I'm gonna read the next theory while I get it set up. All right, this one's coming from Alex Sanchez. Alex Sanchez says, for Sephiroth's endgame, he wants the lifestream and the real world to collide so he can win both sides. He will join his mind in the black lifestream by the black materia to his body in the real world, summon Meteor to provoke a deep wound in the planet, and then absorb all of that lifestream and become a god and use the planet as a vessel. Man, that sounds very familiar. What do you guys think of that one? Genesis, start with you.
I think that sounds likely. I mean, one thing I forgot to mention for the first one was I do agree with Cloud is the end game and becoming a god. It's just that journey of how he does it. And I think this is more akin to what could happen. So I'm going to go with likely for this one.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. All right. How about you, Baby Seal? See, when I get the board ready, all you have to do is vote. You won't even have to say anything.
I hate saying things. That's
right,
perfect.
Right.
That's great. I'll go with I'll still likely. Yeah.
Okay. All right. How about you, Noctis?
I would go very likely.
Okay. So the board is ready. Have you guys loaded up the document that I sent?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool. Now,
Yep, got it.
Now I'm just gonna add that to the scene here. And then we're gonna get this thing rolling, really like rapid fire theories. So let's go with that. I want to capture this one. Thank you.
I still have view only.
Same.
Oh yeah, I've got view only as well.
Oh really? You can't do any kind of editing? All right. Oh wait, viewer only, editor. There you go. Done. All right, cool. So now we have a real-time board here for everybody to get their votes in.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Cool. There we go. Look, now you can see it in real time. Awesome. All right. So now, let's go with, let's see, that was Alex Sanchez with that submission there. We're going to stick with Sephiroth's endgame. We're going to stick there. And then when you want to clear them out, all you have to do is just go back to the little dash, and that clears it out. All right.
It's a very high-tech moment for us.
Look at that, right? Very unlikely. See, look at that. All right, so this one is from Jay Chatwin. He's going to merge all of time, rule past, present, and future. He's going to rule the timeline, is what Jay says. Go unlikely. Go unlikely. I like that one. He's going to rule the entire timeline, past, present, and future. Now, as we go on, this is where you can speak up and kind of like, oh, I got to say something about that, right?
Hang on a second.
Yeah.
You're saying he's going to rule it, or this is his end game?
This is his end game. He merges.
Okay, just making sure.
Merging all of time to rule past, present, and future.
Just making sure.
Okay. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna kind of jump around because now I'm gonna go to give me your best theory. This is Azito88. Azito88 says, this is a good one. This is a big one here. Okay. We will at some point end up seeing the original 1997 Final Fantasy VII timeline characters. From what we have seen so far, it seems that the two timelines do not run parallel. With the Terrier timeline being a few weeks or months behind the Beagle timeline. I believe the events of the original already happened. The Sephiroth we are seeing in this game is the same one from Advent Children, and we will eventually see what happened in the original Final Fantasy VII's timeline after Dirge of Cerberus. All of the events of the original compilation will remain unchanged, and the cliffhanger post-credit scene from Dirge will be addressed. Oh, we got a very likely from Baby Seal. We got a very likely from Baby Seal. I'm going unlikely. Now I see Professor Noctis says very unlikely.
Baby Seal and I are like opposite ends of the live stream here. I mean,
live stream black, live stream white.
That's us. That's us.
Awesome. Do we want to comment on that one?
Okay, so do I think so? This is sort of what a lot of people when they call this a sequel.
Yeah.
This is what they accidentally mean.
Yeah.
And I agree that sequel is really not the right term for anything. So it's predicated on future events, right? So that's kind of what we're saying. And even if the live stream is like the primary component of this, the live stream has been shown to be omnitemporal, meaning that like the rules of causality will literally be the Deus Ex Machina necessary to fulfill any plot need necessary, which is a little annoying and convenient, but it does seem to be kind of the way that they're doing it. And as long as they don't focus on it too much and focus on all the other themes, it'll probably all wash out and be great. But I do think that it will be addressed what the quote unquote curtain call is, and we're seeing a ton of stuff suggesting that the compilation is all relevant, it's all prophetic, and I do think that the things that happened in the OG still technically happened. They're just being rewritten as a result of things that have yet to come to pass past Dirge of Cerberus. So, past 3 years after the end of OG.
Now you say very likely, and all of what you said makes sense. All of what you said, I like that. One of the things that kind of stood out to me was Azito88 says that they don't run parallel. As in, this person thinks that they're out of sync of sorts. Is that something you're thinking of too? Like, I guess that does make sense in a way of like Zack sees, or he survives his fate, and then he's walking towards Midgard. Do you think they caught up by then, or?
So it's hard because there's so many components of this thing, so that there are things that I definitely would say are very unlikely. I don't think that the out of sync nature of the events will really be an issue. Like, I don't think we're going to be like, oh, it's September in the Terrierverse, or in the negative live stream, or the positive live stream. It's unclear where everybody is right now. But I do think that Sephiroth's endgame, like question mark Sephiroth, that was shown at the end of the highway, was very specifically specified by Nomura as a Sephiroth that we have never encountered before, and even players of the original would not recognize. He's got longer hair. I still think that there's a component where he's leveraging tools that he received perhaps in his struggle with Genesis way past Dirge,
That makes sense. All right, so we go on to let's see. I'm just gonna rapid fire some of them. Tarnished Design says part 3 of the series will be named Restore, where Aerith, Zack, and the party will restore the timelines. What do we think of that one? Oh, very unlikely for that one. I'm gonna go unlikely. So you guys are against this one a lot here. I'm gonna say it's not gonna be called Restore. I don't think that's the name of it. I don't like there's no double entendre here. You know what I mean? There's like, I guess they restored Final Fantasy VII. That might be something, but I'm gonna go with where Aerith and Zack and the party restore the timeline. I'm just gonna say Aerith and Zack, in my opinion, is more possible that they are in whatever the Zack world is. I think maybe I'm kind of aligned with Noctis on this one a little bit, where it's more of an afterlife type thing. I don't know, but where they kind of will guide it that way from the live stream, and then Aerith, of course, she does a lot from the live stream in the original Final Fantasy VII. So I think they might be in the live stream, and we might get a little bit of a battle within the live stream type thing with Aerith trying to battle the Sephiroth that's in there. That's me just trying to make it likely, but I'm going to say unlikely, not very unlikely.
I don't necessarily disagree with what you said though about Zack and Aerith's role.
Okay. I had to twist the entire theory to make As far as Tarnished Design, I have to say very unlikely, but I try to make it work for you to get it unlikely.
It's good thinking though. Like
I do like these.
The thinking behind the title's good. It's not just any RE, like, because a lot of RE words or RE words don't have the hard E, so it's got to rhyme,
Yeah, that was something I thought of too, like where I'm like, it can't be riv something. Yeah, it's got to be re. I kind of like the return. It just makes sense. Remake, rebirth, return. That looks good. Yeah. I like resolve, but that's a resolve. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes. But all right, that's enough of my theory. Let's get it on back to yours, fans. I will come back to another one from Tarnished Designs because I really like Tarnished Designs' fun, smaller scale theory. But we'll come back. Rydia Farron says the dresses for Princess Rosa will change depending on who plays the part. We're gonna get different dresses. Oh, what happened to my? There it is. I'm gonna say likely. Very unlikely for babies. Okay. Likely. Good one. Thank you for the submission. Lindsay Toddy. Let's go to Sephiroth's endgame for Lizzie Toddy. To wound the planet with meteor, absorb the life stream, and use Cloud's body I'm just kidding. As his vessel. Travel the cosmos as a god, adding universal life stream to his power. Universal conqueror. For Sephiroth, just as his mother did long ago. I like that one. And we'll come back to Lindsay Toddy for another one later. Let's go Gan. Ghan. Gan. Oh, I got 2 of them here. Let's see. Let's ooh, here comes the spicy one. Easy spicy. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Genesis, I'm gonna put you on the spot for this one. I want a response.
I'll do it straight away.
Okay, here we go.
Hit me.
I think Tifa is going to be the one to die.
Unlikely. Unlikely. No. They might do something similar that they did through the VR sequence or what happened to Barrett, but not. Yep. It's not going to be. It's going to be one of those.
A little fake out.
Yeah, fake out. Fake out.
What's up?
Can you reread it specifically?
Yes. All right, so there is actually more to the theory.
Oh, okay.
So let me continue. I think Tifa is going to be the one to die. It would definitely unravel Cloud's mind the most. I think Sephiroth's plan is to do that. And with all the trailers focusing on Aerith, I think it's kind of a bait so that we don't see the twist coming. It is. Gan makes a great point. It would be one of those things that would be so freaking shocking. I don't know if I necessarily like it. I just have to see it right. The writing has to support, right? Like, I don't know if I like it. I don't know. I'd have to be in the moment, you know? But it is definitely definitely a shocking thing. That would definitely be shocking. We'll have to see what chat's saying. Okay, a lot. You know.
I think that what I would be surprised if it wasn't played with, if her fate wasn't severely threatened.
I like that
in some way. However, it is really hard to justify Cloud's transformation. Like how do you make Cloud find himself without Tifa? You know, that's a really hard gap to fill. That's a harder gap to fill than any of them for the narrative, because that is the crux, according to, you know, the developers, according to everybody. The most, if you have to summarize what Final Fantasy VII is about, it's about Cloud finding himself. That is beyond all the other stuff. That's its core principle is about that self-discovery. And since there's really no other pathway to that, they would have to produce pathways. And how those pathways could possibly feel like they have the same DNA as Final Fantasy VII, that's a really, really narrow road that I can't.
Yeah, because then you also, because like Tifa's not Aerith, right? Tifa's not a Cetra. She's not like going to be able to go into the live stream and, you know, do things. She's just gonna do what a normal human being would do in the live stream: dissolve and become one with the planet, right? Whereas,
well, no, I mean, she survived in the live stream with Cloud,
but she didn't die.
Tifa's tough as nails. Yeah, she's strong. I think there more stuff can happen to let us know how significant it is that Tifa stays alive.
Yes. In
the live stream without like coming out with green eyes and, you know, like a personality disorder. Like, you know, like it's pretty impressive.
That is very a testament to her strength for sure. Yeah. No, I was meaning like she didn't actually like physically die. She fell in the live stream, but she didn't. Like when you physically die, you dissolve into the live stream type thing.
No, but I think. Go on.
Well, I think they are going to play with this, like you were saying. But what was it in one of the trailers? Sephiroth is saying, right? I killed her, so who is she? And so I think there's going to be a really interesting piece of Cloud not really trusting Tifa, and maybe I mean, if they really wanted to go extreme with this, then he can even turn against Tifa, and you know,
driving a massive wedge between them.
Exactly, a massive wedge. And if there is some sort of threat to Tifa, it may very well be Cloud for a portion of this game, which I think would be a really interesting narrative piece.
Yeah. That would be interesting, and a lot of people IRL would die over it.
Oh, 100%. No.
No, man. I kind of
shouldn't
want to
have
see
said
it
that, to be
just
honest.
for that. To be honest, I love Tifa too, but man, I kind of want to see everything just go in flames. Sometimes you just want to watch the world burn, Bruce. But no.
And, hang on, one more second. Like, I think it would be an amazing thing for him to not trust her, to actively kind of subvert her, work against her, and then what does she do? She still loves him and still is committed to him. Part 3 is like this redemption story of Cloud, and Tifa becomes an even bigger catalyst.
I love that.
For that. I think it's awesome.
Love that.
I agree.
Love that. I
100%.
I love it.
Yeah.
Very likely for that one, Prophet. So we got Bolympics Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kate Sith isn't controlled by Reeve in this one. Controlled by Verdot. I like that one. Verdot is for anybody who doesn't know, I guess that would be which there's probably a lot of people who don't know.
Before Crisis.
That's before Crisis stuff. That mobile game that was Japan only, so a lot of stuff there. That I'm gonna say very unlikely we're all unanimous on that one.
That's the twist at the end.
Let's see. I think I highlighted this one, but I'm wondering why. It might be just I might be repeating what we've already talked about. But Toxic Toad says, I mean, I just kind of want to say what he had.
Say it.
What will be Aerith's fate? She's gonna get skewered. It wasn't even like it was.
It wasn't even a question.
Yeah, just skewered, man. That's the word that was chosen. Going to get skewered. I think that the fact that they've created enough uncertainty for us to even question whether it will happen will make it be a surprise no matter what they do now. It's an iconic scene in gaming history and important to drive the narrative, and that opening shot of her in Midgard needs to be at the very end of part 3. She gonna die. That's that was what Toxic Toad said. We got another one from him coming up later, or them, sorry. I don't know. Toxic Toad. Odysseus, the real Strife.
All right.
The strife is rife. The strife is rife. Let's go with some funny answers here. I want to read one of these. He wants Sephiroth's. Nope, we're gonna go best theory. Genesis at the end of Dirge of Cerberus was sensing Sephiroth's will, traveling back through time to enact his plan. So, Genesis awoke to stop him once and for all, and will totally appear in Rebirth or the third game. So Genesis, at the end of Dirge of Cerberus, where he says, "There's much work to be done, brother," and flies away, was because he sensed it and said, "Oh man, Sephiroth trying to go back in time. He's trying to mess things up. I gotta go take care of that because I'm the protector of the planet now." You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Duh. Like, I'm gonna go very likely on that one. Actually, I'm gonna go very likely. Very likely for that one. The strife is rife. I think Genesis will appear. I don't think he's the hooded man though. Well, I don't know. Maybe he's got. Let's if Genesis grew out a beard, trying to be cool. You know, he's trying to be cool. Hey, Tetsuya Nomura actually submitted a theory.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I want to read his first one because it's funny. What will Aerith's be? What will Aerith's fate be? Don't worry about it. It was great. Let me see. Okay, here we go, guys. Tetsuya Nomura says, the ending of the game will have a very sad moment with Sephiroth and Cloud, akin to Luke and Vader at the end of Return of the Jedi. Sephiroth is lying on the floor and is about to die. Cloud takes off Sephiroth's wig, and Sephiroth sadly says, Tell Glenn he was right about me. He was right.
Oh,
Oh man, thank you, Nomura. King Valvados.
I love it.
Oh yeah, I didn't. I say very likely on that one. Thank you.
I'm very into it.
Yeah, I'm very into that one too. All right. So King Valvados says, we got a couple of them here. Let's go with not sure. It's super original, but here's my theory. Advent Children was the prequel. Here we go with some titles, proper titles. Advent Children was the prequel. Sephiroth and Aerith, to various degrees, remember the OG and AC, and therefore are wildcards against fate. Sephiroth is using Zack and his associated timeline to somehow screw with the Beagle Cloud, or maybe even to use the Terrier Cloud somehow for his nefarious goals. The Terrier timeline might actually be the real timeline, and Aerith at the end of Remake protected and solidified the party into the Beagle timeline. There's a lot of stuff going on here. So that they might actually be able to merge back into the Terrier timeline. I'm sorry, I'm out. I didn't read this. I'm sorry, I didn't proofread. So now I'm confused as I'm reading it. I'm confused. So let me what's up, man? You got something to say?
I'm just gonna say regular unlikely. Okay, so there's interesting elements to this theory.
Yeah.
Thank you, King
Yes.
Valvados. So okay, some interesting bits about this.
Okay.
Okay, so in the storyboards that show up in the Materials Plus, it talks about the two galaxies that you're looking at during the Edge of Creation scene in Remake. There's the one that we're looking towards, which is quote unquote your world, and then there's the one behind it. Now you would think, and that they refer to it as the universe of destruction and the universe of creation, or the life and death, right? Now weirdly, your universe, so Cloud's universe, so presumably the Beagle world is the one that's referred to as the universe of destruction. And the other one is considered the universe of life. The one that will become a part of it someday. So another detailed add to this is the pause menu in Rebirth takes you to the Temple of the Ancients, right? So you are in the Temple of the Ancients regardless of where you are. What is the Temple of the Ancients? The Temple of the Ancients isn't where the black materia is. The Temple of the Ancients is the black materia.
Yeah.
So it's almost as if they're in the black materia. So I would say almost the inverse of what King Valvados is saying is possible. It's like a possible sort of narrative thread that they're coming up with. That everybody's in some form of live stream. Because I think a lot of times we hear the live stream and we think, oh, is the live stream the afterlife? Not really. That's not what the live stream is. The live stream is not, the afterlife. The live stream is the functional mechanic that drives the entire universe system forward. And there are more than one. There are actually 4 named live streams. There's the stagnant live stream, there's the negative live stream, and you could argue that those are both the same thing. It's probably that they just didn't think about it real hard. And then there's the universal live stream. So it's like there's all these life streams. So it's possible that what the black materia is, because if you look at the walls of the black materia, and if you read, say, the Ultimania descriptions of why the walls in the Temple of the Ancients look the way they do, it's because they are a time capsule, right? So the timekeeper's there, and then they have pictures of all the different phases of the Cetran history. So it's like a time capsule. So it's as if the black materia is making a backup copy of a universe. And it's unclear if that's where we're experiencing the story right now.
I
Just
like
food
that.
for thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that idea where oh man, that's good. Like where you're
The
in the
way-
edge of creation, looking at the both. Yeah, good stuff. Go ahead. Try.
The way you just described that is it's perfect, but it's also exactly why I cannot get on board with this naming of it as a timeline, because it's not as simple as a timeline, but it's also not as simple as like an afterlife. It's not that, and yet it's all encompassing of these things.
Yeah.
And so this again, I think you and I have talked a little bit on Twitter about this. This is a failure of language, and we just don't really have the language to get to some of this stuff.
Agreed.
I like saying worlds. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they
That's what
refer to
Sephiroth
it.
calls
Yeah,
them.
that's what Sephiroth called it. So I'm gonna say worlds from now on. But
I will sometimes say continuity.
Continuity is a good one.
I like that. Did I say who that was for? Yeah, that was Valvados. Hey, thanks so much, man. I'm sorry I butchered that. I'm so sorry, man. I like Valvados.
One of
Valvados.
the problems with some of these theories is they are so embedded with other theories.
Yeah.
And it's like if one of them doesn't fit, then I've got to go unlikely or very unlikely, even though there's some good pieces to it. So
Right.
just understand, if I'm like very unlikely, there's probably like one specific reason.
Okay, so Valvados, before I move on, says, left out one key word for my theory. The Terrier timeline is, the Terrier is the new real timeline, so overwriting the Beagle timeline, but Aerith preserves the party in the Beagle. I think Baby Seal kind of like took us there. Right, like you took us there, where like the edge of the creation, like this is the universe being, made, born type thing. I think those universes are the Terrier and Beagle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so cool. Don't forget about the pug one.
Never forget.
Never forget about the pug one. Remember, me and Sephiroth actually succeeded. Like I just took his hand and went with him. Like why not? He wanted to save the planet, and I did with him. So it's good. It's all good. We've been besties. All right. So we got Cloud Strife First Class on Twitter. Says. This is gonna be an interesting one.
There's two clouds. There's you and him.
Well, according to Cloud Strife, what was the name? Cloud Strife First Class on Twitter says.
Is it Cloud Strife or Cloud? T or D?
T.
Yes, my
Clout,
boy. I love Devontae. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, Clout Strife. According to Clout Strife on Twitter, I think that only one person can exist at a time. No. I shall go on. You can... I'm sorry. This goes back to...
Very likely. You haven't even heard the theory.
I'm sorry. It goes back to what I was saying, like on Twitter the other day. Somebody commented on one of my videos and was like, said something, and I said, well, I think that, the villain is living in this, like he's gone back in time to remake things and do this. And I'm like, only in Final Fantasy can I say something as ridiculous as what I just explained in that comment. And the response was, okay, cool, that makes sense. So this one's kind of there as well. I think that only one person can exist at a time, and you can't have both world versions of a character existing. That is why Aerith and Cloud are unconscious, and Barret and Tifa are dead. Also, I think that Cloud will die and travel to the other world. Wow. Okay, so that I see the point. I'm trying to what about Marlene? Is Marlene unconscious, or is Marlene able to do that because she might be Cetra? But Aerith is also Cetra. Why can't she do it? She's dead.
Well, I mean, I think that one of the things is Marlene, Elmira, and Kyrie are all seen in the trailers around Zack, right? Now you could argue that each of them have a relationship with Aerith. And so maybe she touched them in the same way. We know she touches Marlene. I don't know, but I would have to go very unlikely.
I think I saw somebody throwing it around too, which is also kind of what my overall theory was, that this is my overall theory that I had was that it's an illusionary world created by Sephiroth and Genova using their powers. mimetic abilities and stuff like that, right? To create, this is the one that I've stuck to. I don't know if it's necessarily mine. I just haven't. I've heard so many theories. You know what I mean? But I've stuck with that.
They did that. We know that they did that. That's that weird black stuff that comes out of them in Advent Children. That's the negative live stream. Which all of us would obviously know from watching the movie, even though it wasn't.
Oh, it's very cool.
I mean, like if you don't have to go see it in theaters when it comes out in January because it has nothing to do with this. but yeah, no. I think that if it is an illusionary world created then of memory and everything, it could just be the memory of Elmira and like just an illusion created by Sephiroth to keep the illusion alive, keep it so it's interesting that they can't exist at the same time. For that part, I'm going to kind of say it's a good point. I'm going to, you know what, Street? I'm going likely. All right. I'm going to say that you two can't exist at the same time in both of them as a consciousness. I like that. All right. Sorry, I'm gonna. There we go. I got the little runs on my nose. You know what I mean? Got a little cold. All right. The obsessive hermit. Let's see. We've kind of already said that one. But I said the obsessive hermit's name, so I got to read something here. See, like, I wouldn't call this a theory, let alone a good one. I'm going to abbreviate this one. But I honestly suspect that whatever happens in Rebirth and Part 3 will have no foreshadowing in this day of age. Theory crafting and internet leaks, fiction writers, they're writing it as they go. I'm going to say very unlikely. I think they have a plan. I think they have a plan in place. All right, so let's go with... See, I'm in unknown territory now, guys. I didn't get to read any of these beforehand.
I think to some extent they are adjusting with response. To some extent, I think they have a framework that has potential outcomes based on fan reception of part 2.
That's fair. That's fair.
They've got the flexibility to just tweak things just here and there.
Is this because you called them on stretchers?
Yeah. Yeah, that's 100% it.
Okay, if I'm Sephiroth, I will do everything in my power to not let Aerith die, so I can control the live stream at my will. And as of now, I'm winning, as they willingly destroyed the Harbinger of Fate for me without even knowing it. So this theory is coming from Imad, saying that the twist is Sephiroth doesn't want Aerith to die. And I guess this would kind of go along with the fact that there's whispers at the scene. And if Sephiroth is in control of the whispers, where are we falling at with this one? If Sephiroth is in control of the whispers, and we see whispers at the scene of the scene, you know what I mean? All right.
What if Aerith is in control of the whispers and she wants to die?
We will do it on our own terms. You know what I mean?
So, I think they are in a position where, regardless of whether or not it was their intention, enough people took away the potential message that the whispers were an analog for the OG fans. And if for instance, let's say Sephiroth declines killing Aerith, and instead the whispers do it as some form of dark commentary about how bloodthirsty the OG fans are, I don't think that's going to go over well. I don't think that's what they're going to do. Personally, I think that also this is a potentially controversial take, but if you need receipts, Kay Loomis over at Chinner Archaeology Department has put together several threads on this. Aerith did not need to die for Holy to work, or we have no indication that she needed to have died in order to lead the life stream onto, like, she can communicate with the live stream fine, communicate with the planet fine. There's nothing that's actually necessarily you know, that Aerith's death wasn't actually critical to the plot. That's actually part of why it's beautiful. She wasn't a fridge. Aerith was not like a part of Cloud's development. Like, her death wasn't why she died. It was more significant for me that she died as the last member of a species in a story about like environmentalism and, you know, the devastation that humanity can cause and that energy consumption can cause. Watching the last of a species die in front of you was really kind of salient to that cause. And so Genova and the Cetra have a very, very long standing enmity between each other. So I always felt that was sort of more important too. And so I think we'll still see Sephiroth attempting to take Aerith's life. He might try and take others too.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah. I like that, Baby Seal. I never really thought of it, to be honest with you. I never really thought it that way of a species like going extinct. Like, I never really thought of it that way. That's really cool.
And on top of that, she is the only one and you can correct me if I'm wrong, she is the only one that can activate the white materia by praying for holy, right? And that's the desperation act that Sephiroth is trying to accomplish. Like, he's trying to kill her so that prayer is stopped. Is that accurate? I could be wrong about that one.
It seems right.
That's the way that I always interpreted it. Like, this is the most important thing she could do, and he's stopping it. And so there's not a lower part for the party at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I do want to go up to bpace777. Sorry I missed that bpace, but did a super chat for $5. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna read these out there. So if you guys got super chats, I'm gonna get you on the show right away. So thank you. How likely is that Sid is trying to turn in the party? Man, this is interesting because I actually had that. I think Genesis also. I watched your video after mine too, where it's where I was like trying to come up with something that had Sid like acting the way that he was acting, like, because I was like, it kind of seems out of character, so I was trying to make it make sense, and I'm like, what if he's the one that gives the keystone to Shinra? So it's not them. I think Genesis came up with the turn in the party for the reward. Is that what you said? Genesis? Me? Yeah. Did you say
no?
What did you say?
I was more along the lines of obviously the clip. We can take it out of context as much as we want because it's out of context. We can we can use it to fit anything. But the way I was looking at it is, I thought that Sid's character progression was happening a little bit slowly than it did in OG. So he's got his arc in the third part. That was my kind of go-to. As soon as people started saying the theory with him wanting to turn the party, I can see that because his dream's to go to space, isn't it? I think anyone that had a dream and it was obtainable, they are going to stoop to whatever they do, and then maybe his arc to doing that is like, oh no, what have I done? Like, was this worth it for my dream? Kind of, and that could be his arc. So there's so many ways you could. And that's what's great about it. I don't think they knew that by putting that one clip of him not acting like how we know him. Yeah. And they knew. That's why they
knew we were going to do that. Wait a second. Yeah, that's so actually...
There's any way you can go.
I think I said that he was going to be the one to betray the party with the keystone instead of Kate Sith. Because I was kind of going along with this. I was going along with this theory I had. I was like, I think everybody's fate is going to change. I think everybody's, except for Aerith, to kind of throw you off. Whereas, like, for me, I was like, all right, well, it looks like Barrett's going to talk down Dyne. It doesn't look like it from the trailer that Dyne's going to go through with what he does in the original. In my opinion, the ratings board doesn't seem to line up with it, unless if I'm just missing something. I feel like attempted suicide,
I have no idea what might happen.
Suicide off screen, or whatever has to be said in the ESRB, but it wasn't. And that was me saying, I think Barrett's going to talk Dyne out of it. And if Barrett changes his, or it's not really his fate, but it is something to do with him. And then I'm like, well, what if Sid's not going to join the party until part 3, so we know that something's going on there. Like, wait, so Sid doesn't join you. That's different. There's a lot of differences going on here. Where I was like, so I like what you're saying, Genesis, where you're saying, well, he'll join the party. His arc is developing later. So for now, he just likes enjoying shuttling the party around in his working tiny Bronco. Like, it's not going to get shot down until part 3. I
think it's a big. Sorry, I think it's a big thing that in his concept art he doesn't have a weapon yet as well.
Doesn't even have a weapon. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, and then he turns into the party. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying. Then that falls into all of the theories, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Of wanting to fight. So.
Yeah, and he's just chilling back at, after he does it, he's, contemplating things. He goes back into drinking. He goes back into being, freaking terrible person to Shara and all that other stuff where, because he betrayed some people, and then, he's just going to be back to that. And then when we find him in part 3, that's when he's going to say, you know what? I'm sorry, and like make amends with the party, and maybe then that way they can join the party, and then Shinra's gonna shoot down his tiny Bronco, and then that's when he's gonna be like, we're gonna steal the High Wind. Let's go get the freaking High Wind. All right, cool. Sorry, I had a little detour on that one. Thank you for that one, B Pace. I appreciate the super chat. That's awesome. Thank you so much. All right, let's get back to it, man. We got a lot of them to do here. Kate Sith was in Remake actively trying to stop Platefall, but wasn't able to. That's why we saw him in Remake. At the Platefall thing. Sure. I'm going to say likely on that one. Thank you for that, Dustman. I think that's true.
Yeah, sure.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Probably for like Patreon supporters, because I would love to just go through all of these and just one by one address them, because I feel bad. You guys spent a lot of time writing some really great theories. I'll go by one by one, just for you guys. But I don't know. Might even put it on YouTube. We'll see. Part 3. It'll make sense. No, let's not do that one because we already said that. Oh, hey, the story recap trailer is Red 13 telling the story to his kids. I like that. I'm gonna go likely.
Yeah, I think so too.
I like that.
Okay, here we go. Let's do a, I didn't even do one of these yet. What is Zack's purpose in Rebirth? This one comes from SR. 2 theories. 1, he's in the world of the lifestream and will help Aerith stop Meteor, similar to the story in Maiden, the maiden who travels planet blah blah. Except the official version. This will be the official version of it. It would also be cool if they fight Genova's influence within the lifestream to put an end to the alien once and for all. A final showdown against Genova's freaking essence within the lifestream. I like it. I like it. See, good point here by SR, because Noctis, I'm gonna throw this one to you. I think it's a good point by SR, because whatever happens, we need to solve the problem that Sephiroth, when he dies, infects the lifestream. It's like, you just can't get rid of him. When Genova dies, she infects the lifestream, and you just can't get rid of her, right? I would say one of my coolest theories that I had, this one's an original, I believe. I don't know, maybe somebody said it. That the reunion will happen. A true reunion. To reunite all of Genova's cell to make her be reborn! It is the rebirth of Genova in her truest, purest form. and she will be like, we're talking Jenova from back in the Cetran days, with the one that was terrifying all of the, almost made the Cetra go extinct, almost eliminated them back 2,000 years ago. I think we're going to see that. Once they're all reunited, the full, true Jenova, you can eliminate it all in one. They'll find a way to get rid of it. What do you think, Noctis?
I like the idea of fighting Jenova, especially with, as you said, those in the live stream. So at that point, if we're going off of the OG, then Aerith, for example, Zack, there's a whole other thing. I think there's something interesting to that, because the OG leans into the idea of her prayer didn't reach the planet, or it is reaching the planet, all that kind of stuff. I wonder if they're trying to make that more of an active story this time. Like, what actually is taking place? What resistance is being met there? And I wonder if they're telling that story. So I think that the overcoming of Jenova in that, and not just Jenova, but maybe any sort of like resistance to what's happening, quote, up top, I guess. I don't know. I think it's an interesting idea.
I like it. I'm going to go with, I'm going to say likely. Yeah, very likely from Prof. Noctis. Is that was that your answer for this one?
It was. I really liked it.
Awesome. This one's coming from Cyrus. Mm-hmm. Maybe we will see the Cetra from Aerith's mural, the painting or pictures of the past, at the Temple of the Ancients. We will see the Cetra from the, so like the actual Cetra, like it's that old thing, the little spirit that's running around is one of the. I'm gonna say very likely. I like that. Another somebody pointed it out on Twitter. Don't have a link. Was it you, Noctis?
No, it wasn't. I just have a lot to say.
Oh, okay. So it was, you go ahead and start it. I'm gonna bring it up.
No. Please continue. I don't want to go down a trail. Like this is like my bread and butter here. I love the stuff with the ancients. Like it fascinates me to no end.
Oh, all right, no man. You want to give us a little tidbit though?
Yeah. Let's talk about Cetra for 6 hours. That's
I mean, no, what's I mean, yeah, I think that it's probably a foregone conclusion that they're going to see. What's the guy's name? The Timekeeper or Time Guardian. Yeah. I think. What's his name in the Temple of Ancients? I think they're really going to play with that. But if your last theory is true, the thing that we just voted on, and there is some sort of reality existence that's beyond all of this, I think we're going to see Aerith reunite with the Ancients. And that's where she's going to really come into her full potential. I think there's a lot of really interesting things. Remember in that scene, shoot, I'm speaking too much.
You're okay.
That scene in chapter 17, I think it is, where she and Barrett are talking, the whole party in Shinra Tower, and Barrett talks about the Promised Land, and she says, "I don't know how to get there, at least not yet." I think we're going to see some interesting things in part 3 once she is in the beyond, whatever that's going to look like, where she's going to get to the Promised Land and she's going to have the knowledge of the Ancients. And that is how she is going to play a very critical role in the fight against Sephiroth and Jenova.
All right. I like that, man. All right, so 7 deadly streamers. Sorry, I always said that wrong. Excuse me, sorry. Seven deadly streamers. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. I'm gonna read your theory now. So we'll go with your best theory, which is the true timeline is where Zack and Aerith die. However, new alternate timelines have been created by Jenova to mislead the party and help Jenova succeed in devouring the planet with Sephiroth's help. They might give up the struggle if they believe one of those illusions. So, I kind of say likely because it's kind of what I talked about earlier, where I think it is an illusionary world. So I'm kind of going with likely. I like that one. Andrea and Dio have some histories. They are either rival or a couple. Oh, shoot. I like that. I'm going to say they have history. I mean, you gotta get the rivals or a couple thing. I like that. I'm going very likely.
Please.
Yeah, right?
Please, couple.
Yeah.
Please.
I'll do it.
Please, I'm begging you. Exes. Angry exes.
Angry exes. Still performing at his amusement park though.
Yeah, there's a new boyfriend. Theo has a new boyfriend that looks suspiciously like Andrea, and there's like shade about that. I can't wait. Please.
That's the shipping conversation that we're not ready to have.
We're not.
I was born ready for it.
He's like, this is.
I'm ready for it. Let's go.
The one we deserve. This is from Mind Funeral. Mind Funeral says, this is an interesting one, guys. Imposter Tifa is in Zack's timeline. The trailers were just cut in a weird way to make us think that she's talking to Cloud instead of Zack. What are you implying? That I died? So she's talking to Zack instead of Cloud. So what are you implying? That I died? I liked it though.
Yeah, it's fun.
I like it though.
Yeah.
I give it a very.
I agree with it.
I like it. It's interesting because trailers do cut things up like that in a way to mislead. And Zack did see her, right? Didn't Zack? Zack might have thought she died there. So I don't know. Maybe. Screw it. I'm gonna go unlikely. Not very unlikely. I am Bridgeman. Says nice, kind of what we were talking about earlier, finding a way to purge Sephiroth from the live stream so he can never attempt something like this again, to purge him once and for all. You gotta do it. Not in Rebirth, but overall, that's what's gonna happen.
Theory.
You have to get rid of him completely. Dying survives.
For Afterbirth,
for Afterbirth.
For Afterbirth.
Oh no, God! for any dads out there, we don't want that image again. Oh man! All right, so also says Dying survives. I'm gonna say very likely on that one. Super Sloth. Let's see if you got a good one for me, Super Sloth. Man, you guys hear that? You guys can, I'm sorry. But sing 4D laughter with the lo-fi melodies from Rebirth. Good stuff. That's what's been playing.
Such good stuff.
That's what's been playing in the background right now as we go along. So please
that's great.
Check out Sing 4D laughter.
And thank you, Joshy Poo.
Joshy Poo?
Yeah, Joshy Poo just doing super chats.
Oh, hey. Thank you, Joshy Poo. I don't really... I got to keep up with that. Thank you, Baby Seal, for keeping me informed. Joshy Poo! Thanks for the... What's up, man? Do I not want to read this? Why are we laughing?
No, I'm laughing because I pulled up the chat over there, and this is the first time I saw your pug stamp bag.
Oh,
so like, you kept referring to it. I was like, okay, that's cute. That's a neat idea. And then I actually see it. Sorry, I'm behind.
Yeah, man, I'm just eating my pug. It's got my stamp champs. Joshy Poo says, "How we feeling on Rebirth final boss? Alternate Cloud, Zack, Genesis." I feel like Alt Cloud is kind of a Baby Seal original, right? Or
it's certainly my biggest hope.
Yeah,
I like the idea of. Well, I mean, it's just it's a little tough because how do you actually end the story? You know, but I do want to see at least one of the instances of Cloud that we're seeing, fully turn, and regardless of how you conceptualize the continuity that wheelchair Cloud is in, whatever that is, he's now living his life without all of the things that he drew upon to find himself. So his resistances to Sephiroth are all gone in this world. And so it seems like whatever comes in that world from Cloud is going to be dark and interesting and something for somebody to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's the final boss, I still feel like it's suboptimal to me, but I don't see how better to do it. I think if the real climax, not the epilogue, but like the real climax of the base game is the water altar, it's probably going to be some trumped up version of Genova life that, you know, has multiple phases, and maybe Sephiroth Reborn pops out, you know, and then we have to fight Sephiroth one more time.
I'm from the Ivan Children's timeline, Cloud.
Yeah,
Just to confirm
even
it.
longer hair.
Yeah,
it's just like
yes.
it's just like Super Saiyan phases where he's got even like he's just all hair. Ridiculous. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So we got. I'm gonna kind of skim ahead a little bit. I want to read every single one of these. I really appreciate everybody chiming in with their theories. You guys got some amazing theories too, but some of them are starting. Some of them are starting to kind of repeat, which is very cool, because it seems like a lot of people are on the same page. A lot of people have been watching, you know, SEAL Team 7. A lot of people have been watching Genesis 7, Prof Noctis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we got the theories are starting to meld within original theories, and that's always cool. Let's see. Come on, man. Who said this? Who said? Zero Fox Given. Guys, Zero. Do you know everybody, Baby Seal? You're like, oh yeah, Zero. All right, so Zero Fox Given says Chadley is a knight of the round and has been testing us to see if we will end up worthy of possessing the materia.
Yes. I think that's the best one yet.
What's the matter, Jen? What's the matter, Jen?
Just don't think it's gonna happen.
Jen hates fun, clearly.
King of the Whispers over here. Defend the OG.
Well, let's just move up a little bit then.
Well, yeah, bring it up a little bit.
Just a little
There we
bit.
go.
It's a possibility.
I mean, he just so happens to have these summons, you know, like they
Chadley, let's be real. Chadley is next level sus.
yeah,
Like he's
yeah,
super sus.
something going on there, and Cloud just went cool.
Yeah.
That's what you like to say to some of the other side of the theory, not some other side of the fandom, when they give you they're trashing you, just right back.
Oh, yeah.
Just respond with Cloud going, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so man, what are you gonna...
Sorry, Cetra said Chadley spelled backwards is Lancelot, actually. that made me laugh. You got me, Cetra.
Lancelot.
Good.
It's Spider-Man. Remember your clip? It's
Oh my gosh. Nimrod, I piss.
Nimrod. I
playing-
think so much
everybody, I was
Nimrod
playing-
us.
I was playing Ever Crisis last night, and somebody in the chat named Namred I Piss said, "Hey, that was a really good voice for Wedge you did there." And I said, "Thank you, Namred I Piss." And then they told me, you know, that Spider-Man backwards. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Nimrod I piss. And like you said it
Nimrod
with
I
like
piss.
some genuine
It was
kindness.
so
Thanks
earnest.
So
I was
much,
like, "Thank you,
Nimrod
Namred I Piss."
I was. Yeah, that was good. Let's see. Where am I at, man? So what we're gonna do in just a moment, and I think this is gonna be fun. We're gonna have Bing Chat GPT. I'm gonna compile everyone's theory, every single theory, and I'm gonna say,
theory.
write me a theory based on the theories that I provided for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and we're gonna see what the Bing says. All right, so that's gonna be fun. Your theory might even sneak its way in, you know, because it's just compiling. Let's see. Oh wow. Wow, Ninburo, shout out to you just for writing like so many theories. Really appreciate that. I'm not going to read all of them, so let me see if I can find one. Oh, look, you're kind of repeating the comatose state within the live stream is still alive in reality, so you can't be alive in both timelines type thing. Yep. Into the live stream of conscious reality. Very interesting stuff, man. You guys are crazy with this. In part 3, when Cloud goes unconscious, he will join Aerith and Zack in the live stream for a portion of part 3. You will control a party of Zack, Cloud, and Aerith within the live stream. This would kind of support the idea of maybe Tifa going, but that's I don't know. I'm gonna say unlikely. I'm gonna say very unlikely. But I think they will meet her, maybe within the live stream. Maybe she's there. Maybe Zack is going to help as well. Piece together Cloud alongside Tifa, but we'll see.
Don't say that too loudly. They will come for you.
They will come for you.
I have learned that.
They will come for you, man. Just saying it like it is, man. You know.
I do think that there is a little bit of a. It does strain a little bit of plausibility. I mean, they talk. You talk about Zack and Cloud's relationship like it's, like straight up brotherhood. But it was just like they really liked each other, but like they did not spend enough time with each other for Zack to hold any of the context necessary to piece together Cloud's psyche. It's just it strains some plausibility unless they're rewriting the level of their relationship, which they had the opportunity to with Crisis Core Reunion, but then just straight up remastered it.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
I mean, I think that it would be a cameo at best. And we're not talking like Zack or Aerith are the catalyst for him being pieced together. That's got to be Tifa. But I think that they could show up, but not at the climax of his reunion.
Yeah.
That's a bad word. Rehabilitation, maybe.
That doesn't come till later.
FF7 rehab, that's it.
Yeah. 7 rehab.
There it is.
Oh, wow.
That's a new one.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
I love that one.
Oh, man.
Captain Cosmic, I hope he checks in my theory. Can you check Captain Cosmic's theory if you have time?
Sure. Yeah. Let's go for it. Captain Cosmic. Where are you? Where are you, Captain Cosmic? Did you put your name in there? Here, I'll search for it. Captain Cosmic. There we go. Let's go with your best theory, Captain Cosmic. I think we'll see the Temple of the Ancients use a lot of North Crater parts. It's a big build-up to Aerith's exit, and it could be even more dire if Meteor was summoned early, or the weapon spawn or something. They are really hinting at that being an important heavy place. I also think Genesis may be able to facilitate communication or travel between the two worlds.
Mm.
Can we split that into two to vote on?
Yeah, let's go.
Because that feels like two different things.
It does, yeah. So we'll go first one. The Temple of Ancients will use a lot of the Northern Crater parts. It's a big build-up to Aerith's exit, and it could be even more dire if Meteor was summoned earlier. Keyword or key highlight there. Meteor summoned early, or the weapon spawn, or something like that, hinting at that being a very important heavy place.
I think that's very likely.
I cannot say likely enough.
Yeah.
Define early. Like, what are we talking about? Are we talking about
pre-snowboarding?
But Meteor, yeah.
Well, no. Okay, so I think we're gonna see a bunch of Northern Crater related stuff at the Temple of the Ancients. What I don't think Meteor is gonna get summoned this game still.
Yeah.
Although I think it should. I just have a feeling that'll be kind of the beginning of part 3.
I think the weapons will at the end of the game. I think the weapons will awaken.
Yeah.
I think the weapons awaken, and then I mean, what a freaking way to close out the game. Come on.
I think it could be a post-credit scene, like
Yeah.
the weapon opens up and then it fades to black.
Woo!
That'd be pretty.
Yeah.
Woo! That's
as
hype.
far as the Genesis thing, I think I mean we're gonna see Genesis. I just don't know if that's gonna be. I'll say unlikely for
I'm gonna say
him being that. Yeah, I think we'll see Genesis and Rebirth, but probably just as a VR battle. That's my personal take.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So you don't think we'll see him in the flashback?
We might see him. We might see him a little bit in the flashback, but it's not going to be in a way that, like, they know what upsets us. They know that if yeah. I don't see us seeing Genesis in Cloud's version of the Nibelheim flashback.
Okay.
Genesis, you're on the edge here, or are you just not voting yet? Where are you at with Genesis facilitating communication or travel between?
I think it's unlikely. I think we'll see Genesis. I think that they will redo the bonus, the post-credit dirge scene, post-credit on Rebirth.
Oh wow,
okay.
That sounds awesome.
We have much work to do. Yeah. Oh, interesting. I mean, I know that they've said that they have no plans on it, but I still believe that they're going to do an intermission part 2.
That's still, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing I believe the least from them.
Yeah.
No Dirge remaster in the works,
No,
and no DLC. Yeah.
I think
whatever.
it's a Vincent focused DLC, and we're going to take care of a lot of deep ground stuff, a lot of deep ground threads. And I think that's where we get Genesis and all of his shenanigans. But yeah, I mean, like, I like what you're saying, Captain Cosmic, because it does make sense in a way, whereas Genesis, I mean, he is kind of, isn't he like the right-hand man of Minerva? Like, he's like that's where we kind of left him. So, I mean, if anybody would have the power to facilitate communication or travel between the two worlds, I mean, we got to throw Genesis in the mix. So I like your thinking there, Genesis. So that's why I gave you a likely. I gave you a likely there. All right, so we'll go. Let's see what we got on time. 1:33. So I do want to make this a 2-hour nice 2-hour show.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm gonna make sure I don't go like crazy with this. All right, so let's go with. All right. I want to get a good one. Let me get a good one. You know, let's get a. Okay. You never know.
I thought I froze.
Whoa.
Like, my Wi-Fi go?
Something just happened. Let's go. God dang it. Baby Seal forever saying my name. Baby Seal forever saying my name wrong. Please tell me we both said the same thing when I read it in my mind the wrong way, and then I went Baby Seal forever saying my name wrong. Do you know what I'm talking?
No. Who? What?
Is it eat shit? Is that how you say it? That's what came across my mind.
Oh no, I don't know.
Really? L shit. L shite. L kit. L kit.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
L-kit.
I've never said that correctly.
So I just added to it. I just gave you like 4 more mispronounced words. Yeah, sorry. We got Baby Seal forever saying my name wrong with 2 hearts. I wonder if I'll get 2 hearts for accidentally saying eat shit. My bad. Let's see. Hey, look, this is kind of saying what we talked about. This is a fun, smaller scale theory where Sid is going to pick up smoking and drinking again after Aerith's death, which makes a lot of sense. That's why he doesn't have the pack in his goggles or anything like that. Or after he betrays the party. You know what I mean? That's a good one. I think that's.
I think it could be interesting if Sid in some ways blames himself for Aerith's death. Like some of the things that he does lead to it. Even though he's not the cause, he could be questioning himself. That could be interesting.
That could be, yeah.
I like that. And this kind of gives Sid a more like rounded out character arc too. Like, I mean, we get to kind of see his collapse, re-collapse, I guess, because it's already and stuff like that. But interesting. And I would highly recommend that everybody go check out Eyes on B with Curious Joy, and I don't know, she brought a couple people on to talk about Sid Highwind.
Those are really
That
good.
was a great
show.
stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great episode.
So go check out Eyes on B if you want more Sid Highwind goodness. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Something I thought about when they were talking too is it also like it made me go and look at all the Sid dialogue in the OG, and Sid actually was often very painfully and confusingly polite. Like he was polite in this very aggressive way, and I actually do think that that's kind of the tone of how he says. I mean, it sounds sarcastic, you know, and so I wonder too if we're just gonna get little layers of like the, you know, Shara rage as things go on, and it would be surprising if Aerith was kind of like the final straw, you know.
I mean, like I was looking for context clues and everything too, and like body language on Aerith and Barrett. They don't seem super amused, like when it kind of cuts to them.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah, it's really hard to say, but it's very
He works for
strategically placed in the trailer, like we were talking about earlier.
I mean,
It doesn't make sense to me that they would immediately trust him because he is still an employee of Shinra at that point.
True.
And so, like,
well, he does.
if you're
say,
just meeting him, so
yeah, in the character description, he does have a quote. Like his quoted thing was, "Shinra can't take the skies from me," or something like that. Yeah. All right, so all right, this one's coming from at pixel_et Etty pixel_Etty. On top of Cloud having uncertainty regarding his own memories, as in the original game, he will also continue to have conflicting memories where he remembers things from the original run of events. This will likely lead to a confrontation with Zack, who he will remember, but will remember as being dead. So it's you know, it's his mind going, you know, like when I read that theory, I was like, you know, that's my grunts. You know what I mean? Like you like those. I'm gonna get them in the microphone for you. Some ASMR or whatever that is. You know what I mean?
you could just record that on loop, please.
All right, so I think a confrontation with Zack. This could be what we were talking about with Baby Seal. Baby Seal saying that if Cloud is the a final boss, if maybe it's Zack fighting Cloud. Yeah. Ooh. And it's like Batman versus Superman, where Superman doesn't want to kill Batman, but Batman's like trying to kill Superman, and like so Cloud is Batman, and like Zack's like, whoa, dude, take it easy, man. And then they're both like, maybe their mother's name is Martha somehow. All right.
It's weird.
All right. So we go on to. Oh man, there's so many good ones, guys. So many good ones. So many, like, people. This is what I love about this, all right? And I want to shout out to everybody who submitted. I wish I could read it, but this thing would go on for 5 hours, 6 hours. But thank you so much for taking the time to share. I feel like you wanted to vent, and I'm glad I gave you an opportunity to vent them out. I got to figure out a way to make sure I can pay this forward somehow. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I will do it by myself and just kind of read through them all for you. I don't know how well that will do as content, but we'll see. All right, let's see. Oh, you know what? Let's see what we got here from Tom Klaus, because Tom Klaus comments a lot. Oh, I see we got a super chat. I'll get back to that in just a second. Tom Klaus follows or comments a lot on the YouTube channel for us, for Final Fan TV, and I want to say thank you. So thank you so much for that. Thanks for being a fan. All right, so let's see which one we got here. Let's go with this one, because I'm going to go with your best theory, because if I'm going to read one, I'll go with your best theory. Rebirth is going to end on a massive cliffhanger. Yes, very likely. We won't find out what happens to Aerith until part 3. And she will be with us at the beginning, but still die towards the end. It won't be by Sephiroth's hands, but it will be our fault. Whoa, Tom, calm down! Which is why, or which is the only way to make her death even more painful. Tom, you okay? The internet will explode, and there will be a try not to cry challenges all over TikTok. If it's still around by then, in quotations. Yo, Tom. Real talk, real cool. Tom, man, I really appreciate everything you do. I appreciate your comments on this channel. Man, you... Baby Seal, Cloud would never do that. Cloud would never harm.
No.
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 Okay.
No.
Okay.
So and this is a bunch of different questions, and there's some good points here.
Yeah.
So I actually do think that I mean, a cliffhanger is really clearly been alluded to in several developer interviews. Plus, it's the second part of it. You can't not like it. It's. I mean, there's going to be a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And I do think that the way to hang, here is maybe throw a question mark on Aerith's death. However, and I've said this many times, you can't not show the scene. That scene has to happen.
Yeah.
Has to happen in this game, the way that we all remember it. And so if something creates some kind of doubt over whether or not that scene happened the way that it appeared to us, I can see that being a thing that generates a cliffhanger element to Aerith's fate. Or, I don't know, some weird... the title's called Rebirth or Reverse. And there could be that, the epilogue is some kind of reversal of events, and something like that happens. And that's what gives us question about what's fact and what's fiction. I do feel like we can't walk away from the end of Rebirth with us knowing for sure what's fact or fiction. Like we're gonna, like, we have to kick that can down the road so that we can be bought in on part 3. So I think that's still in the cards, but I do not foresee us getting any other version of the scene than the one that we... I mean, it's the most iconic scene in maybe video games.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Whether or not she survives or it's retconned, it's socially too critical to the DNA of how Final Fantasy VII is perceived by the larger public. They just can't get away. There's no way. They would need to close their doors March 1st.
Well, let me say, there was I've had 5 students or so that I've specifically tried to sequester and say, only play the remake. I don't want you to play the OG, all this kind of stuff. I'm doing a little, armchair research over here. Unfortunately, one of these students got on TikTok last night and saw the scene from the OG, and she said, Dr. Langer, did you, be honest with me, does she die? And I was like, oh, I was so close. She was like, she was my favorite. I was like, oh no. Yeah, it's hard. You can't. So they're clearly playing on that. But one thing that I will say, I agree with you that the scene's got to play out the way that we remember. They're already prepping us for something new because the whispers are there, right? We see it in the trailer. So I think it's got to be something with that. That's going to not subvert, but reimagine our take on it. So
okay. Well, we got one from Helix. Okay, Helix prefaces. I can't say that. I want to say a fancy word. I can't. Prefaces. Why can't I say that word? Preface it.
Actually, a lot of people say that. They add in this is a really common mispronunciation of preface.
Preface.
So just preface.
I'm going
and
to
then
preface because you're prefacing it. You're
that's right. You got it, bro.
Hey, you got it,
killed
bro. You're doing this, man. You're learning English. iWord's professional here on Final Fantasy TV. You know what I mean? This is my profession. All right. I'm gonna preface this with a get ready for a crazy one. One that I actually don't believe in myself, but it was fun cooking it. This is what Helix says.
Oh, good.
I'm glad he prefaced that. My theory is that it's not Aerith that will die, but Cloud. Genova Life will spawn either from alternate Cloud from Zack's story or remakes Cloud, and the players will get to play as Zack and fight against it. As for the live stream sequence, will be recontextualized. Alternate Cloud and Tifa will fall into the live stream, and the baby version of Cloud Tifa meets is the manifestation of remakes Cloud's consciousness. During part 3, when the party hears that a spiky-haired boy has been found in Medial's hospital, they will think that remakes Cloud has somehow survived. However, by looking at his shoulder pads, Tifa realizes that he is actually alternate Cloud. Still, Tifa decides to stay with him. Maybe Aerith could tell her that by staying by him. His consciousness could hear her voice and find his way back. Oh, there goes that Velcro, boys. Low budget Cloud. It's rough over here in the Pug timeline. All right.
You lost your rank.
Yeah, I freaking got a cold. Soldiers don't get colds. All right, so this one's crazy. I do agree there, Helix. By piecing together Cloud's mind, remakes Cloud's consciousness, and memories eventually reincarnate into alternate. What am I seeing? I have a corner of my eye. I saw like a face palm. I saw a smirk over there by Genesis. Maybe through the help of Aerith as well, and that's where she will sacrifice herself. Good Lord.
Okay, I'm starting to like this more and more. This is up to regular unlikely.
Regular unlikely on that one, man.
There's things about it I like.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely things, but
there's definitely things. It's
a little bit long-winded.
Yeah, that was my
thing. Like
there are things. A good editor would.
Yeah, let's get him an editor.
It might be partly on my part as I'm trying to understand it as I'm reading it. Like, okay, he falls into the live stream where the live stream will a baby version of Cloud. Like when I read that though, I thought he was like Cloud and Tifa will fall in the live stream and have a baby, and that's what I read in my mind. And I was like, oh God, what is happening?
Romagus. My favorite part is the shoulder pad recognition. I agree. I do like that. Like that's how they know. So, like Tifa's gonna be like, you have too many shoulder pads. This you're not my Cloud.
Shoulder pad recognition.
Yeah.
All right, look.
I love it.
Uh-oh. Shoulder pad recognition, boys.
We back.
Oh, it's a different one. This is my lightweight version that I wore at the party. So that way I didn't stab somebody with a bolt.
Smart.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. Don't want to pick up a lawsuit from cosplaying.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
You can get on planes more easily now.
Yeah.
True.
All right. Let's go ahead.
Crowd's afraid of flying though.
Let's go ahead and compile this into a into a Bing. I'm
ready.
This is gonna be great. Bing chat. All right. So what I'm gonna ask Bing, I'm gonna say write a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth theory based on the theories. Wait, based on these theories. Based on these theories. And then I'm going to copy and paste like 83 responses. 83 of when I said give me your best theory, I'm taking all of those and putting them in there and let's see what we get.
This is the real merging of worlds.
This is all right.
Sounds like about 2 discs of theories there.
Here we go. You guys ready for this? Oh wait, before we do, 7 deadly streamers, thank you so much again for that super chat. I really appreciate that. It really means a lot. Third part is called Reincarnation, and Aerith reborn as Cloud and Tifa's baby. What the heck? Just messing with you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everyone. That was a good one. You hit me for us. I was like, oh my, what the heck? Reborn as Cloud and Tifa's baby. That would be just awkward. That would just be awkward.
A lot of people would feel really awkward.
Yeah, Cloud's like, it's weird, you know? All right, here we go. Based on the theories you provided, here's a Final Fantasy VII theory. A Final Fantasy VII Rebirth theory. The Temple of Ancients will use a lot of Northern Crater's parts. See, you're gonna hear those theories kind of trickle in there. Let me know in like the comments if part of your theory made it into the compilation theory here by Bing. Okay, the Temple of the Ancients will use a lot of the Northern Crater parts, which will be a big build-up to Aerith's exit. The situation could be even more dire if Meteor was summoned early or the weapon spawn. The temple is an important and heavy place, and Genesis may be able to facilitate communication or travel between those two worlds. Part 3 of the game will be DOC themed. Sephiroth will meet Lucretia, but will have a twisted sense of showing love for his mortal mother. He will show himself to her, which will make her come out of her crystal, allowing him to either kill or corrupt her via Genova cells, in order to disconnect Vincent's support and thus make him lose control over Chaos so he doesn't destroy the Omega again. Sephiroth sees it as a mercy so that his mother can be joined with him in the new world. Wow. Jesse's father appeared in the remake to spoil us all. Just a bit about what's going to happen to Cloud at the end of Rebirth. Zack and Cloud will team up at the end to fight Sephiroth at the edge of creation. We will at some point end up seeing the original 1997 Final Fantasy VII timeline characters. From what we have seen so far, it seems that the two timelines do not run parallel, with the Terrier timeline being a few weeks or months behind the Beagle timeline. The events of the original already happened. The Sephiroth we are seeing in this game is the one from Advent Children. And we will eventually see what happened in the original Final Fantasy VII's timeline after Dirge of Cerberus. We said that already, Bing. All of the events of the original compilation will remain unchanged, and the cliffhanger post-credits scene from Dirge will be addressed. Okay, reiterating that. The game will tie in with Advent Children, but it doesn't mean it ends with it. Advent Children happened before it, and this will be explained in the game. Thank you so much, Bing. I should have just read that. That would have saved us 2 hours, right?
That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, great job.
Great job, Bing.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to
Good
say,
job, Chadley.
give me an outrageous Final Fantasy VII Rebirth theory. I want an outrageous one.
I hope it's about Tifa or Aerith.
Yeah, there's never ever been any problem
about Tifa
about this character.
or Aerith. And
Oh my God.
Noctis, you're up, baby.
Why did
You have to
you say
defend
that,
this.
Wade?
You have
Please
to
send
defend
all mail to.
whatever it says. You must defend it as if this is your own theory.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll play this game.
Yeah, mansplain it to us, Wade.
Here's an outrageous Final Fantasy VII Rebirth theory about Tifa and Aerith from Professor Noctis. In the upcoming game, Tifa and Aerith will be revealed to be long-lost sisters. Their mother, who was a powerful sorceress, had given them up for adoption when they were young because she was being hunted by a group of evil sorcerers. The sorcerers wanted to use her powers to take over the world, but she refused to help them. In order to protect her daughters, she gave them up for adoption and went into hiding. Tifa and Aerith will discover their true identities and dream about their mother.
That's the whole theory. Okay. It feels like a lead into Final Fantasy VIII, to be honest.
It's a tie-in.
Yeah.
It's a tie-in.
Yeah.
Love it. This game is going to create continuity across 16 games. That's my theory.
Oh, this will be the one ring that binds them all.
This is the one. We thought it was 14. It's not.
Hey, Baby Seal,
Strangers of Paradise.
Baby Seal, you're gonna have to defend this one. This is your theory.
Okay.
The place where Zack is a VR simulation made set to the what if mode by Chadley using Cloud's Buster Sword data. So the place
That's
where
easy
Zack
to defend. It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
What
It is like if you notice, like all of the details and stuff like that, and the dialogue, in all of the things that are happening in the Terrier timeline, it's like a worse version, like a lower quality, like a little bit of a knockoff, like Biggs without a, without his headband. He looks all attractive and stuff. You're like, no, Biggs, you can't be prettier than Cloud. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. That's only going to be like Chadley's, because Chadley obviously has like a ton of respect for Biggs, right? So because he's he runs that orphanage. Chadley has daddy issues, and has always wanted friends, and has always felt like an outsider. And here's Biggs creating an orphanage and a safe space for fatherless children and motherless children.
Wow.
So obviously he's going to create like a VR world where Zack, finds this incredibly, like, unreasonably handsome version of Biggs and just follows him on this journey. And then there's some girl that might wake up, I don't know, and some scary person. But, like, listen to the way they say a scary man. Like, it can't even say names because it doesn't matter to Chadley. The only thing that matters to Chadley is Biggs and that hair that just won't quit. Like, that's it. That's
Hot
it.
Daddy Biggs.
Hot Daddy Biggs.
Yeah. There you go.
I love that. Thank you so much,
Defended.
man. That was defended just flawlessly, if you ask me.
Beautifully.
You backed it up with a lot of theory, a lot of good facts and everything. So it was good stuff. All right, I need, like, from all of you, really, really, really quickly. Just first thing that comes to mind. Adjective.
Oh,
I thought you were going to prompt.
yeah,
I need an adjective.
okay.
Can I get an adjective from someone?
Scrumptious.
Scrumptious. Okay, cool. We got that one. I need another adjective.
Moist.
Moist. Yep, that's the one. Keep them going. Keep them going. Give me another adjective. Another
Somebody
one.
else do it.
Fertile.
Fertile.
There you go.
A plural noun.
Come on, Jen.
Give me a plural noun.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because I feel like it's gonna add to this vicious bowl of stew that we're mixing here.
Yeah.
Oh God.
No, I'm blanking. Like I'm thinking of the words that we've already got. And I'm just getting so.
A plural person, place, or thing. Just give me a thing. Give me a thing, right? Like just a thing. Look around your room and find something that's a thing.
A replica of Midgar.
You got it. Replicas of Midgar. Because it's a plural.
A
An adjective.
replica of Midgars.
Replica
what?
of Midgar.
I like that.
An adjective.
Wait.
Flexible.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
A noun. Let's get a noun. These words are great by now, I gotta say. You can't get a noun for some place or thing.
Reactor.
Reactor.
Whoa.
Nice.
Nice.
Adjective. Noctis. Give us another adjective. What else? What other adjectives you got in there?
I don't know. Everything's a synonym at this point. Bendy.
Bendy. Plural noun. Plural noun.
Nebulas.
Nebulas. Nice. Nebulas.
It's nebula. It's
A nebulae.
Yeah.
Is it nebulae? I like that. We're gonna use it. Nebulae. Let's go with another plural noun.
Weasels.
Weasels. All right. There's more to it, but I think we'll. I don't know. Give me some rapid fire. Adjective.
Geriatric.
Geriatric or theoryatric or
Geriatric.
geriatric is what I'm going with. Geriatric. Oh god. Another adjective.
Hungry.
I thought you said hung. I was like, oh my god, watch out now.
Whoa.
Whoa. Adjective.
Juicy.
Juicy.
This is gonna be
plural noun. Oh, I gotta do the next one too. It's only a couple more. Plural noun. This is gonna close out the show.
Apples.
Everybody. Apples.
Apples.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. This one's gonna close out the show, so just stick with us. This is gonna be great. Little Mad Libs here, as you can tell.
Oh, good.
Yeah. All right, so let's get an adjective.
Plump.
What's up?
Plump.
Plump. Plump. Those are some great adjectives, man. I love these adjectives. Yeah. I think we need another adjective. Yep, another adjective.
Vascular.
Just give me vascular.
I just hope it's about Dio and Andrea.
This
is my real hope.
Vascular. Another adjective. Give me 3 more adjectives. Man, they really love these adjectives. Bing loves the adjectives. 3 more adjectives. Chat, we got
Rustic.
something?
Rustic.
From Saya says rotten.
Rustic's good.
Rustic?
I like rustic, yeah.
Rustic. Okay, cool. And then dumb apples. If there's a noun, I'll put dumb apples in there.
Dumb apples. That's a good idea.
Do we have another one? Sid says geriatric, moist, flexible. I don't like this.
We're going places.
I don't like this.
Ultimate theory.
Throbbing from Tom Close.
Yeah.
Hey,
throbbing. Hey, there was a
rounds it out.
Flush.
There was a inside joke with me and my friend. We were talking one day, and he said the word throbbing, and I said, I'm going to find a way to put that in one of my videos.
There you go. There you go. Now we
God,
got
if
it.
I had money, I would do like a contest. Hey, find the video where I say throbbing, and I'll give you a freaking PlayStation 5. No, I don't have that.
Whoa.
I don't have that.
I'm clipping that.
Oh.
I'm clipping that. That's it. He said it. If only I had the money. All right, so chill, Tom. And the last one is plural apples. So plural nouns and dumb apples. And that one was coming from Cetra. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's go with this this theory by Genesis. Genesis came up with this theory. Actually, by the way,
Good job.
Fun fact, Genesis did come up with that last theory to mess with you, Baby Seal. About Zach
really?
and Chadley. Yeah, that was from him.
That sounds so true. Oh my god.
He has another one too. I don't know. All right, here we go. Excuse me, sorry. In the upcoming game, Scrumptious Cloud Strife and
Oh, no.
in the upcoming
no.
game, Scrumptious Cloud Strife and Moist Tifa Lockhart
Oh no!
Oh no!
They're definitely coming for you.
Yeah, we're gonna see this on Twitter.
Oh, no. Somebody clip hard.
This is canon.
God dang it. All right. In the upcoming
Will of the
game,
planet.
I'm going to say it again. Scrumptious Cloud Strife and Moist Tifa Lockhart will be revealed to be fertile lost replicas of Midgars. Their mother, who was a flexible reactor, had to give them up for adoption when they were young because she was being hunted by a group of bendy nebulae.
Wait.
This is sounding
Are
very
they-
familiar to the last one.
Yeah.
This is sounding very familiar.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so where are we at? We're hunted by a group of bendy nebulae. The weasels wanted to use her powers to take over the world, but she refused to help them. In order to protect her daughter, she gave them up for adoption and went into hiding. Come on, Bing. You rehashed the same thing.
Ooh, Bing.
Geriatric Cloud and a
Yes.
hungry Tifa will discover their true identities when they both have the same dream about their mother.
It's another
Whoopsie.
Marcy.
In the dream,
It's both Martha.
their mother tells them that they are sisters and that they must work together to defeat.
Yes.
God, all right, that they are
Or
sisters,
Nojima.
that they must work together to defeat the juicy apples who are still after her. She also tells them that they have inherited her powers and that they must use them to save the world.
Okay.
As they journey together, the plump Cloud and vascular Tifa will the plump Cloud and vascular Tifa will learn to harness their powers and become even more rotten. I'm going to add more rotten. Even more rotten than their mother was. They will face many rustic challenges along the way, but they will always have each other's backs. In the end, they will defeat the throbbing dumb apples and save the world, fulfilling their mother's legacy. And there you go.
Pre-ordered.
Pre-ordered.
19 inches of vascular Tifa.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
No.
Oh no.
Oh god.
I'm definitely going to use throbbing dumb apple in
Throbbing
conversation.
dumb
Though.
apples.
That's a euphemism for something.
That's going in the next lecture.
Oh, you better believe it.
That's God dang. I can't wait to learn more about the adventures of Scrumptious Cloud and Moist Tifa. But until
my
then,
professor is going to have a real weird review
this is gonna
Oh man.
of Wade's
Yeah.
lecture.
Yeah, they don't rate in chili peppers. It's only throbbing dumb apples.
I'm gonna put that one into the next breakdown video. It's got to sneak its
Indeed.
way in there.
That's
Oh
right.
man! All right, everybody. Before we close this out completely, I do want to say thank you so much to my party. We got Professor Noctis, Baby Seal, and Genesis 7. Genesis 7, I want to say, usually I have I have guests on. We have some really good conversation. Some really, some deep thought. This is a dumb one today, man, and it was really fun. We've had
That last one was true. That last one was truly deep thought.
very likely on the board, please.
Give credit where it's-
Let's get that very likely
where-
on the board,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we.
Very likely for the throbbing dumb apples and
That's
the
right.
geriatric Cloud.
Mm.
But no, Genesis 7, man, I gotta say I've been following your content and I love it, man. I discovered you actually when you went to Final Fantasy 16's London event. So that was really cool.
Awesome.
I watched your video and I was like, man, this is such a really well done preview video. So I loved it, and I've been
Appreciate it.
following ever since then, man. So yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. If you need
It's
someone
late
again,
there too.
yeah, it's 1:10 in the morning.
Oh, hey! Thanks so much for being here.
No, it's all
You're the
right.
best.
I made time for this. It's fine. If you whenever you need me again, shout me out.
Man, I hope so, because I would love to have you back on the show. So thank you so much for that. Baby Seal, thank you always, man. All I got to do is just say, hey, Baby Seal, I want to do it. Yes. I'm like, all right, man, you're in. it's in. Yes. Oh, so thank you so much, Baby Seal. I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you too, brother.
Thanks, man. All right, and then Professor Noctis, man, I got to say, becoming one of my favorite. I gotta say, dude, I love watching your streams. I love watching your lecture streams, man.
He's breaking into the scene pretty hard.
Right? And but with something unique, right? Like you got your own twist on it. You're a very unique twist on it where you're doing lecture streams, as you call them, and I think that's fantastic. You had MJ Gallagher on your show recently, the author of the Norse myths and the Greek myths that inspired Final Fantasy VII. And dude, you broke down that DLC for Final Fantasy 16, you guys. So that was awesome. So is there anything?
It's all wrong,
thoughts?
but it was great.
It was like. I mean, you had Mo on the show. God damn.
Anything with MJ, I mean, you just give him the keys and he'll go.
Oh man, and I do want to say a big, massive shout out to God. I think we might have actually listened to the entire album twice, but please go check out Sing 4D Laughter.
Yes,
on YouTube. I'm gonna bring that up now. There you go. As you can see, it's Sing 4D Laughter. It's got an entire 1 hour and 6 minute album on YouTube right now. And you know what? Just for that, I can't. I'm in subscribers only mode into my own freaking chat. What is that? And Streamlabs doesn't allow me to do it. But I want to share the link, and I'll put it in the description of this video. So please go check that out. And maybe Baby Seal, can you hook me up with that link, please?
Yeah,
I would greatly appreciate that. Everybody, please, when you're done with this, head on over to that and hit subscribe if you don't have enough time, if it's 1 a.m. in the morning and you got to go to bed, or you want some music to go to sleep to. Here you go. Please go over there, hit subscribe on Sing 4D Laughter. That would mean a great deal to me if you went to everyone's channel. I'm sure you all have already done so with these amazing guests, but please go to everyone's channel, and the links are in the description. You can click on that, hit subscribe, say, hey, saw you on Final Fan TV, loved it, subscribe, because that way they know, like, oh man, that was worth my 2 hours.
It was worth it either way, just for vascular moist Tifa, That's
all right. So there you go.
Please don't let that be the last word.
I should end it with that, but we're gonna end it with don't believe anything you heard on the show today. None of it's real. What is fact? What is fiction? Take care now.